I have never been so pissed off by a Spider-Man costume reveal. The reason being because I recorded this whole ass video about the costume tease from Spider-Man Day. Well, now it's basically useless, isn't it? They keep doing these staggered reveals. Like, just reveal all of it. But okay, here's what's gonna happen. I'm not getting rid of the video I've done so far. It's got some takes and some speculation that you might be interested in, but I am gonna bolt on a new section about the fully revealed suit at the end. Alright, enjoy. Alright, so it's Spider-Man Day. Well, it's sure as hell not Spider-Man Day anymore. And the next MCU Spider-Man film, Spider-Man Brand New Day, is in the works now. It is now entering production in Glasgow. Iron Spider already. So naturally, we are going to get a look at Spider-Man's costume any minute now. And to prevent the internet from getting their first look at these photos and going, it looks like cheap cosplay, it doesn't fit properly, they've given us an official look at the suit. Kind of. It's close up, so close up that you can't actually see the whole thing. But what you can see is that it looks like an expensive movie budget costume. So you won't be complaining about it. Oh, it looks like a cheap cosplay. Good move. Genuinely, really good move. Would I have liked to have seen more? Yeah, but this is just a tease. Now, before I get stuck in the weeds about the new suit, here's a eulogy for the previous one. The final swing suit from Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, there's no saying that maybe he won't have that suit for like the opening of this movie, but that suit generated so much goodwill from Spider-Man fans, and before it has even appeared properly in a film as a practical outfit, we have already been shown a brand new suit for Spider-Man. And when I first saw this suit in this tease, I was like, oh damn, is Andrew Garfield coming back? Is this going to be a little twist of like, oh, it's the new Spider-Man costume, but it's not for Tom Holland? I mean, you can't rule out that they might do that. There certainly have been a lot of behind-the-scenes rumors whether or not this is going to be a street-level movie or whether it's going to be a multiverse film that brings back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield all over again. And I'll talk about the direction the movie's moving in just a little bit. But for now, let's just talk about this little teaser video, just real quick. First thing we hear is they are reprising the Michael Giacchino Spider-Man theme, which is great. It's nice to finally have some proper thematic cohesion that lasts more than just 3 movies. Very few Marvel superheroes can ever claim that, and Spider-Man has it. It's good to have a consistent theme. I hope they'll do something unique with it. And I think they will. They did unique things with that theme in the previous 3 movies. They were different to each other, so I don't doubt they'll do the same here. Here we got that kind of light piano version, gets the intrigue going. But okay, now for the suit. We certainly get a good look at the shoulders and the bottom of the spider logo. And it looks a lot like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man costume, which also looked a lot like the Raimi costume, so in a way it's getting passed down the lineage, but the brick patterns are back, the raised webbing is back, and it is all very much in the style of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, which was a super nice costume. The spider logo, I might be wrong, but just from a general observation, it does look to be the one that was on the final swingsuit from No Way Home. And I will say maybe there's a possibility that this is in-universe the same costume. I mean, we only saw the final swingsuit from a distance in Spider-Man No Way Home, and it was in motion, and it was entirely CGI. And tweaks between movies do happen. Obviously, the upgraded suit at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home is in-universe the same as the upgraded suit from the beginning of Spider-Man No Way Home, but obviously it has some little tweaks here and there. I will say this is probably a bit more of a radical departure than that suit was, but it does at least seem to serve the same purpose, the kind of in-universe reasoning as signified by concept art and as signified by some of the end credits animations of Spider-Man No Way Home. The idea was that Spidey's new suit is inspired by the other 2 Spideys. They've kind of helped him fully form that fully formed Spider-Man persona. And that includes a suit that's a bit more in line with theirs. He probably saw he was the worst dressed at the big Spidey reunion with his big gold iron spider thing, which I thought was actually an okay suit, but like, there's no denying he was the worst dressed of the 3 in that scene. But yeah, I get it, he's the main Spider-Man of that movie, so you might as well pop a big golden spider on him just so we can tell which one is which when they're all swinging around in the distance and in fast motion. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking maybe that's the direction they're going here, is that he was inspired by the other 2 Spideys and made a costume like theirs, which he did with the original final swingsuit, but here it's clearly even more in that direction. And you know what? It is beautiful, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, so if he's basically just rocking up in that, then, you know, no complaints from me. I'm hoping they'll keep those MCU John Romita Sr. style lenses on him, though. I feel like those lenses should stay consistent. They are great-looking lenses. Very comic booky. The fact that they can express is really cool. But another thing that I will say is this suit, the way it's looking in this tease here, it's very textured in a way that previous MCU Spidey costumes weren't, and those costumes were often very painted over with CGI, and they could look very CGI in the movies. The raised webbing and all the different textures that we've got on this costume will probably lend a little bit better to CGI. What I guess I'm hoping is that this is the final swingsuit with an Amazing Spider-Man 2 coat of paint, if that makes sense. Textures of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 paired with just the general design layout of the final swingsuit. Oh, and what if they made like the lenses kind of like a dark gray like Tobey Maguire's? Keep that John Romita Sr. shape, but make them kind of that gunmetal. That gunmetal they completely ignored in Spider-Man No Way Home in favor of just black and white lenses. Yeah, that's a good idea. Make the Spider-Men that all look alike look even more alike. Time to thank the patrons. We've got Gosh Darn It, With Great Power, Just Another Evil Robot Clone Seeking Revenge, Xander Wolf, Ghostly Phantom, Twilord, KB, Sad Goku, Dare Denny, Kale Bennett, Pup Has At Least $100 of My Money, and Mr. SP, Sirius the Skeptic, and Biotin. In addition to those, we have Press Play to Jason, Gideon Wells, Goober, Basic Content, Reese Burns, Manauza, Goat Cannon, Litzy, Silver, Josh Strider, Grant Allen, Zach Brakowski, Marv Animation, Coco210, Cho Henshin, RT0, Carl X, Ben Raven, SSS06, and Vera Wild. Thank you folks so much for your generosity. Let's move along. But it's a brand new day, get it? But it does seem that Spider-Man Brand New Day has had quite a stylistic overhaul compared to previous MCU Spider-Man movies, which makes sense. It's a new chapter in Spidey's life. It will be good to move away from the aesthetic that we had in the previous MCU Spider-Man films. Maybe go for something that feels a bit bigger, more grandiose, more akin to the Raimi films, I guess. We know that the movie has a new, logo typeface, which is very comic booky Spider-Man, which I love. Obviously, it's got a new director in Destin Daniel Cretton, and I'm really hoping we'll get some big, epic action sequences out of him. I'm not gonna lie, I don't share the opinion that Shang-Chi was anything special, but, the directing was good, so I have faith in Destin Daniel Cretton. And I think he'd be an amazing pick for a street-level Spider-Man movie, and I guess we've got to talk about that real quick. So from what I'm to gather, this is going to be kind of a street-level Spider-Man movie, the kind that we've been wanting, but it is still going to have a lot of MCU influence in there. This isn't just a straight-up meat-and-two-veg Spider-Man movie, which is kind of what I've been more wanting. We're still going to see other Marvel heroes in this movie, and we know we're going to see the Hulk, or at least Bruce Banner, who I'm a little skeptical about, because the Hulk hasn't been cool since 2017. Marvel Studios really needs to walk back the smart Hulk. But we've also got the Punisher in there as well, and while there is no word of a villain in this movie, it's worth noting that the Punisher was introduced as a Spider-Man villain in his first appearance. But I think pairing up Spider-Man with the Punisher makes a lot of sense, because these two are so ideologically opposed, and we've already seen Spidey almost cross the line in Spider-Man No Way Home. And there's a good chance that he will be getting the black suit in this movie if they're going to follow through with that setup, which means maybe don't get too attached to this new red suit, although I'd think that if they were going to do the black suit, they'd maybe lead with that, right? Spider-Man 3 sure as hell did, but then again, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 actually didn't. They just went straight to Venom in the first promo. If Punisher is the antagonist of this movie, which I don't think he will be, that could actually lead to a very unique Spider-Man movie, but I guess I would be kind of disappointed to not see a new Spidey villain be adapted. Ain't it about time we got the Scorpion? Hey gang, Future Pup here. The news broke late last night that Michael Mando would be reprising his role as Mac Gargan for this movie. He will be the Scorpion this time around. And from what I understand at the moment, he will be the lead antagonist of the movie, which is great news. I think we are well overdue Scorpion in a live-action Spider-Man movie. I'm honestly, if anything, even more excited to see the Scorpion after Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man did such a good job with the character and made him so intimidating. But I think as long as we keep to a street-level Spidey story that isn't overly indulgent in the greater MCU, doesn't deal with multiversal implications, we could be on to a winner. I mean, it is the Spider-Man movie I think we kind of need as that palate cleanser after the MCU Spidey trilogy, which I still really love. And I think what I like about it is each film is so different that I can't really pick a favorite. Maybe Far From Home because it's got my boy Mysterio in it. Sue me. Alright, as promised, I'm gonna talk about the full suit reveal, which still isn't a full suit reveal, by the way, because he hasn't got the mask on. But exactly as I hoped, it is the No Way Home final swingsuit with an Amazing Spider-Man 2 texture pack. The blue sections are not the ones from the No Way Home final swing. They are Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man 2 styled blue textures. But interestingly, while it's got those very Hollywood sheen of the screen textures to it, the overall kind of fit and form of this suit does feel a bit more homemade. Like, I can believe that Spidey would have sewn this together. I don't believe that he could screen print the urethane web on there, but suspension of disbelief, right? But the way the shoulders and the arms cut as well, the overall shaping of that is very Amazing Spider-Man 2. They've made the lower legs on his chest spider emblem a lot longer, which does make the webbing look a little bit gappy around the chest. But like, we're seeing Tom Holland running out in this suit, and look, you can see little crinkles, little seam lines, little creases. I've missed this. I've needed this, and I'm praying they're not going to paint over that stuff in CGI because it looks better. It does look like something Spider-Man would believably wear. If there's one thing I would have been game for them to change on that final swingsuit, though, it's the back spider. And we do see the back of the Spider-Man costume shrouded in shadow, so we still don't know. It would be great if we could get that round back spider back. I just realized as well, they've got rid of those little obtuse angles around the belt as well, so it just goes straight down, which is way better. I really like the colors, the dark, rich shade of red. I like the darker blue much better than the shiny blue. I'm gonna admit that straight up. Put on the mask, you cowards. I want to see it. I want to see the mask.